Time now for sports with Derek Buerkle.
Ryan Burke realized his dream, but he also realized when he needed to give it up. The Grizz receiver retired from football after multiple concussions cut short his junior season. Now he aggressively tackles his rehab. Hello everyone, welcome live to Missoula County Stadium. I'm Derek Buerkle on a big night of high school football. We've got crosstown rivalries, the final game of the regular season for a lot of teams trying to make the playoffs, and everything started early with a doubleheader here today. As right behind me right now, Big Sky still taking on Helena Capital. While the Grizzlies have played fantastic with their backs against the wall, it's the Bison that own the playoffs. They've won 4 straight national championships and have never lost a playoff game in the Fargo Dome. So Montana will need to make history tomorrow to move on to the quarterfinals. Which is harder, college football or organic chemistry? The smartest and most athletic of us could easily respond to that question. But for our athlete of the week, it's one of the very few times he doesn't know the answer. To the earlier game in Missoula this afternoon, Sentinel got exactly what they needed against Great Falls High. First quarter, Bison going for it on a 4th down. Caden Sukit throws to the end zone, but Alex steals skies and makes a great interception. Interception's a key to this game for Sentinel. Their offense struggled at times, but not on this play. In the second quarter, Connor Crawford right up the middle and gone 68 yards to the house. We're going to honor a lot of great individuals here tonight, including our guest speaker who joins me now. Wayne Tinkle is back in town, and I get to feel short once again. It's been over a year now, Coach. So it was about a year ago this time you took the Oregon State job. How has this last year gone for you?
Very rewarding year.
Obviously, your son Trace joining you. A couple questions around him. 1, did you know you were getting him? Was it for sure? And 2, how much did he help land those other good recruits for you, too?
Well, he was doing a lot of recruiting for us before we actually knew that he was going to come and play for us.
Let's get back to state tournaments. Big Sky and Glacier both turned in outstanding softball seasons, and the 2 Western AA powers split their 2 games against each other. The rubber match is the one that really matters. Both teams won tough games earlier in the morning, then collided in an undefeated semifinal at the state AA tournament at Fort Missoula. Winner gets into the championship, and both star pitchers had their best stuff. There's Allie Williams rolling for Glacier, one of 12 strikeouts. Macy Newberry just as good for Big Sky, dominated into the 5th inning, but we're still scoreless at that point. And then Williams also comes through with the bat. A 2-run bomb to left, and those are the only 2 runs of the game. Glacier wins and moves into the championship.
Good job, that away. Hello, Berkey. That away, baby.
Bob Stitt grew up in a small Kansas town in the early 70s. So small that he was the only kid in his entire class. Searching for something to do, he found friendship and a lifelong love of football by accident.
I wandered up to the high school field in 1st grade, and the team kind of took me under their wing, and I became their student manager. And so basically, I've been going to practice every day since 1st grade.
Guys, we gotta watch the quarterback. He may give it to you at the very last second. You gotta be watching.
He has loved every minute of it.
Way to come back and make a play, man. That away.
A lot of people change their major and just change what they want to do in their life. I've never wavered from coaching. I've always wanted to be a coach.
That's a hell of a drive last time. Now we need a long one to wear their tails out a little bit here.
It's a rare overcast and dark start here in Frenchtown to the 9th annual Missoula Marathon. For thousands, this day is all about just finishing, but some want to win. We find multi-sport stars all over Western Montana, but none quite like our athlete of the week. Haley Nicholson is leading the state in scoring in 2 sports at the same time, including one usually only played by boys. The Whitefish Jr. has tallied 30 goals for the Bulldogs soccer team. 2 of those came in a state quarterfinal win over Frenchtown last Saturday, including the game winner in overtime. And she also puts on the pads and helps the Northwest A champion football team. In her 2nd year as the varsity kicker, Nicholson has made 39 of 42 extra points and a handful of field goals. She never meant to blaze a trail, but now realizes it's pretty cool. Montana dominated one half and then struggled a bit in the other, but the first was enough to take down South Dakota State in a first-round playoff game. Bob Stitt leading the Grizzlies to the postseason in his 1st year on the sidelines. After a very slow start for both teams, Montana scores first late in the 1st. Brady Gustafson finds Jamal Jones on the 4-yard touchdown to make it 7-0. Early 2nd, Gustafson going deep this time. Ellis Henderson goes over the defender to haul in a score. 14-0 UM. It feels like the Grizzlies have been in the playoffs for a month now, and they've needed to win 4 straight games just to get to this point. And now they'll get to play the team that started this whole season. They're going to North Dakota State to battle the 4-time defending national champion Bison next week in the 2nd round. Welcome back to the prep game of the week. 6 minutes, 35 seconds left in the 4th quarter in what's been a great game at Washington Grizzlies Stadium. Roberts will throw. And he's going to go deep for Reynolds, who's on one-on-one coverage, and Reynolds can't haul it in. Deming will give to Compton off the right side. He's got some room, and he's into the end zone. Billings West back on top. Roberts will roll left. Now he's going to take off and run back the other way. He's got the first down and more. Roberts down to the 21-yard line, and the clock will stop on another first down. Roberts will throw in the pocket, stepping up, going over the middle. He's got his man.
Wow!
Dropped.
Oh no!
Dropped in the back of the end zone. So now it comes down to Gabe Peppinger, the senior kicker, from 35 yards out. Ball just inside the right hash.
What a game.
Snap down the hole, the kick is deflected, and it's no good! When two schools in the same conference are separated by less than 10 miles, you'll definitely find a rivalry. And Columbia Falls and Whitefish are constantly fighting like cats and dogs. Tonight they kicked it on the football field. Hello everyone, welcome to our first pep rally of the season. I'm Derek Buerkle here with the Big Sky Eagles. They're ready to play the first game of the season in Missoula County Stadium. It's at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon against the Billings Senior Broncs. And I bring in head coach Matt Johnson here, starting his 6th year at the helm of this team. And Eagles, they're worried about the Broncs right now. How about guys, you ready for this game tomorrow? That's right. Eagles taking on Cedar High, and that wraps up your first pep rally. Playoff runs the previous 2 seasons had the Copper and Gold prepared. They rolled through the first 3 postseason games in Washington Grizzlies Stadium, winning by a combined score of 163-14. That set up a national championship trip to the top program in the FCS at that time, Marshall.
Here come the Grizzlies of Montana.
The people of Marshall treated us great the day before. You know why? They thought they were going to kick our butts.
Montana was really the upstart to the playoff scene, and so we were able to come in and people weren't focused on us as much, and I think we surprised them with how good we played.
A back-and-forth game came down to a final drive. With the Grizz trailing by 1, Walter Payton Award-winning quarterback Dave Dickinson led Montana down the field, and with 39 seconds left, junior kicker Andy Larson made a 25-yard field goal to win the game, 22-20.
You know, I remember the team piling on me, or some guys, and then taking a knee and like almost hyperventilating. I was just like, you know, I was just kind of overcome.
The Grizz came home with this trophy, and suddenly a higher bar was set for the program. The 95 team realizes that today's players face a completely different set of expectations. That wraps up high school football, but we found a couple other huge showdowns in Missoula today. Coming up, the Maulers welcome a Montana rival, and Grizz soccer kicks it with the first place team in the Big Sky Conference and gets a good result. Halfway through the second quarter, it was 7-0, and Montana's defense was keeping them in the game here in the Fargo Dome. But then, as Coach Bobstead said, it snowballed out of control, mostly because the Grizz offense could never get going. They only had 235 yards, 60 less than at any other point this season, and Brady Gustafson throws 4 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns in what turns into a blowout loss. Up the road to a battle of Broncs, Hamilton hosting Frenchtown in a non-conference game, and right away, great start for the Broncs. It's Frenchtown. Zach Palmer going to keep this one around the left side, but he cuts all the way back the other way, and he's gone. 68 yards for a touchdown, and just like that, the visitors jump out on top. But then Hamilton digs into the bag of tricks. Look at this. Screen pass out to Tyler Collins, but he can still throw downfield. Cameron Rothy wide open. Touchdown home Broncs.
Yeah, both of them are 2012 winners, and Trisha Droback has run this race pretty much every year, but she's always done something different. She was a pacer the last couple of years. One of those people that we've seen out here with balloons, and they run a certain time, and they help everybody else hit that exact time. So she was running like a 3:10 the last couple of years, you know, to help other people hit their pace. Now today she went out and did her own thing and did pretty good too.
Yeah, that's great. What's your favorite moment that you saw today?
You know, I think it's just the emotion at the finish line. You saw the winners. I mean, these are people who run successfully for very long, but the emotion they had, they were so excited about it. And even when you're watching the half marathon, still half marathoners finishing now, 3 hours and 20 minutes in, and just the excitement of that. That's the emotion of this thing. Really, it's a special event.
The U.S. Freestyle Kayak team only selected 5 teenagers for the World Championships. 2 of them go to Hellgate High and learn the sport on Brennan's Wave. Our athletes of the week are helping put Missoula kayaking in the spotlight. At the U.S. Team Trials last month in Colorado, Kaido Romer and Darby McAdams were called to the winner's podium, and both couldn't believe what they heard.
when they first announced it, they thought, you know, my dog died or something, you know, the look I had on my face. But, you know, I was really excited inside. I was just super surprised, didn't think it was real.
When I made it, it was like the best feeling in the world. I think the best part of it was the look on my coach's face, just like pure joy.
Romer and McAdams sit at the top of a sport they only started a handful of years ago, thanks to a helpful push from family.
My dad and my family, we used to raft a lot, and he basically got tired of my sister and I fighting in the raft, so he kicked me in a kayak.
My grandpa signed me up for our local kids club, Zootown Surfers, and I loved everything about that club. I was just hooked from day one.
The Big Sky Conference tournament started on Monday, but the Grizzlies didn't get to see this floor until today, and it was well worth the wait. Montana plays fantastic against Sacramento State in the quarterfinals. Scoreless into the second quarter, then Glacier finally gets something going on this drive. Leif Erickson over to Caleb Jones. That puts the Wolfpack inside the 10-yard line. And then 2 plays later, give it to Patrick O'Connell. He works his way in, and it's 7-0 Glacier. Happy Back to the Future Day. This is the day Marty McFly landed in the future with Doc Brown. But not only have we not abolished all lawyers and developed flying cars and those wicked cool hoverboards, but they also got the World Series prediction wrong. In the movie, the Cubs win the World Series in a shocker, but in real life, they couldn't stop this guy, Daniel Murphy. Now, both of these teams had to win a semifinal game earlier today just to get in here. Hawaii took care of Northern California, and the Zootown ladies took on Oregon. That's the team that actually gave them their toughest game in pool play. They only beat Oregon 3-2 back on Friday, but top of the first, good start for Missoula. Sierra Hardy is going to knock this one into right field. That's going to score a couple. This is the perfect time of year for a golf trip around America with some friends, but we have never seen a trek quite like Rounds 4 Warriors that rolled through Missoula this morning.
4 golfers, 50 states, 900 holes, 25 days, 15,000 miles.
Yep, you heard that right. Bob Nickel and his group played in all 50 states over 25 days. 2 18-hole scrambles in 2 different states every day. Initially, they wanted to play 1 course a day, but logistics made them tackle a much tougher trip.
Alan was like, I don't know if I can take that much time off of work. Let's do it in 25 days.
Lots of golf, lots of travel, but with a 6:30 a.m. tee time at Canyon River, not much time for sleep.
We left Sheridan, Wyoming about 7 o'clock last night. And we pulled in here at about 2:30, and here we are. We're ready to go.
Thursday marked the 25th and final day. Montana, and then an afternoon round in Coeur d'Alene finished the journey.
Initially it was, wow, I'm going to be really excited to play golf. The golf is on a list. Golf is down here. It's the veterans are up here.
Rounds 4 Warriors didn't care about birdies. They wanted to raise funds for 2 veteran organizations, Final Honors and Special Operations Warrior Foundation. Sponsors such as the supplement company ASIA and the golfers' own funds have paid for the entire adventure, so 100% of donations go to charity. And at Canyon River, 3 local vets started the round.
Local support has been the best. When we show up and we have 30, 50, 100 people at the golf course here to support our veterans, that's what moves us.
On this final day, the group realizes they've accomplished something special and unforgettable.
It's just a flood of memories and a flood of emotion at the moment.
Last night we kind of all got teared up thinking, man, we've done this. This is a world record event, and we did it.
You can donate to the cause on their website, lifeisforgiving.org.